I started writing when I was 4 years old. I just loved writing, and so I would draw villages on napkins and then write stories about the people in those villages. And I would write the stories also on napkins. And my parents were like, "Why are you writing on napkins like a little hobo?" And so they got me my first typewriter, and I went through a lot of paper and a lot of ink, and I just kept writing and writing. And then in high school, my teacher, Mr. McGuinn, who is incredible, recognized that I loved writing and that there was something there. He recognized something, and he taught me very well, not only in his class, but even after I left his class. And I just kept it up, and I always took myself seriously as a writer, for better or worse. And that really helped a long way. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have a fundamental belief in yourself, I think, to withstand a lot of the cruelties of this world. And you have to find room in your life for joy. You know, a lot of times people think that if you are part of a marginalized community, that your life is characterized by suffering, but that is not the case. And I think it's important to resist that narrative, that singular narrative about what Blackness is or what it should look like for young women. The thing about nonfiction, especially when you're including the personal, is that you have to look both inward and outward. And so it's totally fine to include angst and your feelings and put yourself on the page, but you have to think about, how is this relevant to the overall argument that I'm making? How is a reader going to connect to this? What is the reader going to get from this? And if you can't answer that question, then what you're doing is writing a diary entry. And if you can answer that question, then you're writing an essay. I always try to make sure that people recognize that I contain multitudes, and that feminism is not a profession for me. It's a default feature of my humanity, as it should be for everyone. It's how I see the world and my place in it. In being a writer, I'm very observant. I'm always paying attention to the ways in which people behave and little details and quirks about other people, and things happen and I think, oh, I'm going to write about that later. So it's just part of who I am.